Producing over 500 hours per week of talk radio, GCN Live is a world leader in talk radio. Archives for the following program can be found at GCNlive.com.
The stocks discussed on Wall Street Raw are not in any way a recommendation or solicitation to buy, sell, or hold. If considering on acting on information, we first recommend you seek out a competent, licensed professional for advice.
What kingdom has sent you?
The kingdom of the Most High.
Nothing you have ever experienced can prepare you for the unbridled carnage you're about to witness. Right. Super Bowl, the World Series, they don't know what pressure is. In this building, it's either kill or be killed. Right. You make no friends in the pits and you take no prisoners. 1 minute, you're up $500,000 in soybeans, and the next, boom, your kids don't go to college and they've repossessed your Bentley. Are you with me?
The Genesis Communication Network is proud to bring you Wall Street Raw with nationally recognized market timer and previous Wall Street Week elf, Mark Leibovit, welcoming you on board his financial time machine. And here is the elf himself, Mark Leibovit.
Good morning, everybody. This is Mark Leibovit, and welcome to Wall Street Raw. Happy New Year, January 2nd, 2016. This is a holiday edition of our show, so we're not going to get into a lot of specifics, but we are certainly going to try to review 2015 for you. Very interesting year, of course. Many of you may recognize me from being an elf on the old Louis Rukeyser Wall Street Week television program from the 1990s, and also a guest with Paul Kangas on the Nightly Business Report. I author the VRTrader.com series of newsletters, which is retrievable at VRTrader.com or WallStreetRawDecom or WallStreetRawRadio.com. And we produce several different products, more on the short-term bent, more trading-oriented. Since I do come from a trading background on the Chicago Board Options Exchange, it seems like a lifetime ago. And we cover the major indexes, individual stocks, and so forth. We have a gold letter. We have a new product we put out about a year ago called the Vice Letter, which sounds a little raunchy, but it's basically covers tobacco stocks, gaming stocks, and then new cannabis stocks, with medical marijuana growing as a big investment play for many, Canadians in particular, since we have the laws on medical marijuana pretty much cleared up there, but it is changing in the U.S., and there are huge investments being made, so we decided to track that. Believe it or not, there's about 200, or even maybe 250 penny, but small marijuana, cannabis-related stocks traded on the U.S. exchanges, which is sort of perverse when you consider that on the Schedule 1, marijuana is illegal in the U.S., but we do have states, as you know, that have legalized it. So a lot of action there. So we have a letter that covers some of that. And we have our VR Silver letter, which is general market commentary, and our VR Trader, which does that, plus gets into some specific recommendations. And we do make forecasts for the market. We have an annual forecast model that we put out every year. And we're in the process of putting that together now. It did pretty well last year, calling for the big sell-off mid-year, and it actually called for a weak 2015. In fact, that was our forecast that 2015 would be a bad year in the markets, and for many stocks it was. I know the indexes held up and came back and so forth and so on, but that's, the Dow 30, which is 30 stocks, and they were easily manipulated, and we had most stocks did very poorly during the year, and if you sell May, go away, and got out of the market, you did pretty well staying out of the market. And of course there were individual standouts. You had the big name high-tech plays. You had the FANGs, they call them, or F-A-N-G. You had Facebook. You had Apple or Amazon. You had Netflix. You had Google. A handful of names like that did pretty well. And if you were heavily invested or trading in those, you looked at 2015 as a pretty decent year. But it's like 4, 5, 6, 7 stocks. But there are some that really, nailed you if you were in some of the biotechs, which really came down hard during the year. And they were way overvalued. I mean, these companies have no earnings, and the stocks are just in the stratosphere in prices. So it's not something that I would even get near except on a trading basis. Of course, we trade these things, but as investments, it just doesn't make sense at all. So what we're going to try to do here today is go over some of the highlights of the year. I want to remind you that if you want more information for us, for my services, again, go to vrtrader.com. Also, we have a website, WallStreetRawHealth.com, WallStreetRawHealth.com, where we talk about Dr. Joel Wallach's products, which I take personally. And if we don't have him on the show this week, we'll have him on a subsequent week. So I very much admire what he's done over the years. I have a guest on our show today, Harris Glasser, who wrote a book, It's My Money and I Want It. And we're going to have Harris on here in a few minutes, and we're going to talk about his book and his thoughts about investing. Again, the show is Wall Street Raw, and again, I thank you for being here. You have a lot of choices on a Saturday morning, and again, I want to wish all of you, Happy New Year. Last week, we got into a very interesting discussion summarizing, the 10 biggest scandals that occurred on Wall Street, and we rushed through them, and we did get those covered. We'll try to do that again at some point, and I'm going to try to post those on my newsletter. Just interesting to see how some of these big players are able to extract money from investors over the years, but these are the biggest ones. There's a lot of little ones that go on every day, and we only have a couple minutes here before the break, and before summarizing 2015, we have a lot to cover. We have to talk about the state of the markets here a little bit overall for 2016 coming out of 2015, and I think there's a lot of potential turbulence ahead for us this year, but the powers that be, and with a political scenario as it is, and an election coming up, you would think at some point that we will stage a bigger rally. My current feeling is that we're probably going to retest lows, if not take out lows that we saw in 2015. So there's going to be a lot of trading opportunities here. A lot of investors focusing in on the oil market, where the oil market is headed, and I think there will be a big buy on a trading basis in oil, but it might be several months from now. So we're waiting for some clear signals there. The commodity markets, as you know, have been weak worldwide. And precious metals seem to be very attractive here, considering where they're trading, but no guarantee that they've bottomed. I personally feel that you should be a buyer of them. Having seen gold, for example, drop from $1,900 to $1,050. Yes, it might have another $50 or $100 in it, but this is the time you have to be looking for bargain basement opportunities. If you're a trader, however, you've got to wait for the clear trading signals, and we do that at our gold letter as well as our VR trader letter. Interest rates are still going to be accommodative. I know the Fed upticked their rates in mid-December, which was a mistake, as you can see from the stock market point of view, as the market sold off. But I think you're going to still see an accommodative central bank. You're seeing a very accommodative central bank in Europe, as you know, with Mario Draghi keeping rates, in some instances, in negative territory, meaning you have to pay to put your money in the bank there. And we have very accommodative central banks across the world. Japan is devaluing the yuan. China is devaluing the yuan. In China, the yuan has been depressed, and the companies have been supported by government funding. They're trying to keep the prices up over there. Japan's got the yen being devalued, so you have currency wars going on all along around the world. And what does that do? It drives money into equities, and money of that funding comes here into the U.S. and supports our stock market here. So low interest rates around the world, money flowing into equities is probably a decent scenario looking forward, but I don't think this is the time that you would be jumping in. Let's see how January unfolds. I'm very much a believer that January can give you a good sense for the year ahead. It's known as the January barometer, not the January effect. The January effect is where you buy cheap stocks at the end of the year for a bounce the next year. Stay tuned. We're going to have Harris Glasser here on segment 2, and we'll be back with you at that time.
You're listening to Wall Street Raw with Mark Leibovit. Go to WallStreetRawRadio.com for information on Mark's newsletters and products. Stay tuned. Mark will be right back.
This is Dan Pilla. Do you owe the IRS money you can't pay? Are tax debts crippling you? I've defended people from the IRS for over 30 years. I've helped thousands, and I can help you too. I wrote the book on IRS settlement, and I'm telling you, there's no such thing as a hopeless case. Call 800-34-NO-TAX to finally get free of IRS debt. With the IRS's new programs, there's never been a better time to solve your problem. Call 800-34-NO-TAX. That's 800-34-NO-TAX, or my website, danpilla.com.
Are you tired of commuting to a job that makes someone else rich, working harder than ever, but getting nowhere? Do you hate spending hundreds of dollars every week on daycare, having someone else raise your children? With our opportunities, you can start earning money as soon as next week. You get to be the boss, work from home, and live a happier life. At Be the Boss Network, you'll find hundreds of work-from-home opportunities that you can literally start today and be earning money as soon as next week. Go to freedom106.com and start earning money as soon as next week. You get to be the boss. Get out of the rat race. Work from home. Go to freedom106.com right now and change your life today. That's freedom106.com. Go to freedom106.com and start earning money as soon as next week. You be the boss. Go to freedom106.com.
Hey, Berkey Guy here. Are you still drinking unfiltered tap water? Does your water contain chlorine or fluoride? Will you have drinkable water in an emergency? The Berkey Guy is here to help you remove these and other potential contaminants from your water, thus helping you drink clean, purified water. We offer Berkey water purification systems at the lowest available prices online. Don't go another moment without a Berkey system. Over the last 10 years, we've helped thousands drink clean, purified water. Join them by visiting GoBerkey.com or call me, the Berkey Guy, at 877-886-3653. That's 877-886-3653.
We use mobile devices right against our bodies every day, but growing scientific evidence has emerged showing serious health risks associated with exposure to EMF radiation emitted from these devices. The solution is Defender Shield, the most effective mobile radiation shielding ever developed. Defender Shield blocks virtually 100% of EMF radiation from cell phones, tablets, and laptops, and starts at just $64.99. Buy now at DefenderShield.com. For 10% off, use promo code GCN. DefenderShield.com, the worldwide leader in mobile radiation shielding.
Don't complain about your cable bill going up and up and up. Do something about it. Grab a pencil and jot down this special number, 1-855-905-MY-TV. The more cable TV rates go up, the better digital satellite TV looks. Say goodbye to the cable guy and get more of your favorite channels in 100% digital quality for less money. Call 1-855-905-MY-TV. Sign up for packages starting as low as $19.99, and there's no equipment to buy. You get free HD TV upgrade, a free DVR upgrade, and free professional installation. You control what you watch when you watch it. Record your favorite shows. Pause and rewind live TV. Even skip the commercials. Watch local channels too. At just $19.99, what are you waiting for? Pull out your major credit or debit card. Call 1-855-905-MY-TV. 1-855-905-MY-TV. Say goodbye to the cable guy. Cut costs and get more. 1-855-905-MY-TV. 1-855-905-MY-TV.
A lot of people's lives and bodies are out of balance. AlkaVision Plasma pH drops optimize pH level and get rid of harmful waste and acid. Just a few drops in water restores vibrance and energy and gets you back in balance. Now order 2 bottles and get $10 off your order. Sign up for monthly auto shipping and save 25%. Call 800-518-7615 or visit alkavision.com. Alkalize your body. Supercharge your health at alkavision.com.
Take the chase. Think big. Think positive.
Never show any sign of weakness. Always go for the throat. Buy low, sell high. Fear, that's the other guy's problem.
Welcome back to the Wall Street Raw radio show with Mark Leibovit, your time machine for the financial markets. Want to know more? Go to WallStreetRawRadio.com. Now, here's the elf himself, Mark Leibovit.
Welcoming a special guest this Saturday morning on Wall Street Raw, Harris Glasser, who has written a book, It's My Money and I Want It. The book navigates the world of business, a householder's financial guide, allows you to stop losing your money to the financial bullies, including health insurance companies, collection companies, medical bills, credit reports, etc., along with handling IRS audits, discussing corporate responsibility, and numerous money-saving tips and advice. Harris, obviously, we don't have time in 5 or 6 minutes to cover all these areas, but let's start with where you really think we should start. Apparently, this appeals to a large audience of college students and business people and high-income earners. So, what do you think is the primary takeaway?
Sure. I think one of the first things is just money in general, talking about how people handle it, and I'll just give you a little take on it. I always talk about, Mark, that there's only 2 reasons that we make money. And one is for our needs, our survival, and the other is for our desires, our entertainment. And the only problem that comes in, people always short money. I wish I could do this, I wish I could do that. Well, the problem comes in is when we mistake our desires for our needs. And that's huge. And I always like to give a quick story about that, about these 2 partners I knew of being successful, and one used to drive a moderate car, and the other had a big, expensive set of wheels. That's what he needed. Wasn't the desire he needed. Years went by. Eventually, they went out of business. Things happen. Well, the one who used to drive the big set of wheels and the big home would tell stories how, hey, back in the day, you had to see me when I was on top. The other fella who had a modest house, a modest car, said, couldn't say that, but he had put away enough money because he would take the difference between what they both spent. He had enough money to go back into business. He didn't mistake desires for needs. He lived accordingly. So whether you work for someone or whether you're in business, just watch, be vigilant.
Yeah, there's always someone out there looking to take your money. There's no question about it.
Oh, yeah, and they'll tell you how you need this or you need that or you need that, no. Not at all. So that's one thing. Talk about people going into business or buying a business or selling a business. Would you want to touch on that? Or?
Absolutely. Go. Tell me.
Yeah. Okay, it was an interesting thing. I was selling a business, and it's the first thing you need to do, really, Mark, is do your due diligence. In terms of what is the business worth? What does it sell for? Multiples times your income times your gross profit, etc. Get a handle on it, all right? And the best thing I found was to use a broker because it saves a lot of grief. They're going to, let's say, screen the curiosity ones, people coming in and, oh, yeah, business for sale, right? Then you're going to get brokers in, this was my experience, who tell you, you're asking a lot of money, blah, 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 blah. Okay, thank you, I don't need you. And then you have the ones that come in and go, oh, I'm going to get you much, much more for your place, until you sign, and then it's all of a sudden it's not as much as I thought. So do your due diligence, know what it's worth, right? And then you'll find the right broker.
So in terms of the IRS, you said that you have some practical strategies for people. Give us a little insight about that, because a lot of us are fearful very much of IRS audits and dealing with the IRS.
Yes, you get a letter that says IRS, and it's, oh, my God, the stomach gets a knot. You open it up, and congratulations, you're going to be audited. Now, first thing is this. Understand, unless you committed fraud, right, it's not the end of the world. When you come into them, basically, they're like accountants. Don't come in with a big box of papers and slips and things and dump it on the desk and say, here, these are all my expenses, go through them. No, you're going to tick them off. You come in, everything is totally organized. You have everything written out exactly, every item. Usually, look, it's not a general audit. They're targeting a particular item, maybe your travel expense or entertainment or whatever, right? You nail it down so that when they look at it and they see you are so well organized, it's obvious that you're not trying to hide or put over anything. Right away, they're going to be much more accepting of what you've given them.
Harris, we only have about a minute left. I'd like to touch on this corporate social responsibility area that you have in your book, because at Wall Street Raw we talk about a little bit, the problems of Wall Street. Give us a little insight there.
Corporate social responsibility, a perfect industry is the health insurance industry, right? United Healthcare denies 500,000 claims a day. And I can't remember her name offhand. It's in the book. She was a doctor, retired, went to work as a claims examiner, and was trained in how to deny claims. She spoke about how she denied an operation to a gentleman who was entitled to it, and he died. And she said it was amazing that there's no charges pressed. It's just business as usual. She testified before Congress. Nothing happened. And she said all the time she's looking down from her office, and they're installing a $3 million statue in the lobby. A piece of work.
Unbelievable. Harris, thank you so much. Thank you so much for being with us. This is great stories. And if you want more information, we go to www.harrishelps.org. Is that correct?
Absolutely perfect.
www.harrishelps.org. And if you have a chance, you definitely want to pick up a copy of It's My Money and I Want It. Harris Glazer, thank you so much for being with us. Thank you again, Harris, for being with us this Saturday morning. We really want to review what the markets did this year. It was ugly, and we're going to take a look at stocks, bonds, the dollar, commodities. Nearly 70% of investors lost money this year in the stock market, according to OpenFolio, which is an app that allows people to track their investment performance and compare the portfolio with other users. Warren Buffett is seeing his worst year since 2008, believe it or not, with Berkshire Hathaway shares down more than 11% to date. Bill Ackman of Pershing Square Capital sent a letter to investors in December that said 2015 may be the fund's worst year since it was founded in 2004. 2008 was a terrible year in the stock market, but bonds, as you probably recall, were up 22%. But this year, not one major asset class had a good year. So if you went to sleep on December 31st, 2014, and you just woke up, you might think nothing had happened in 2015, just a lot of volatility. So the loss for about 15 points, or about 7% in the S&P, which is really the story for the year, but a lot of action in there with a lot of groups getting slammed, like the biotechs and so forth. So we're going to fill in a little bit more in the next segment and go through 2015 for you, and we're going to have our friend Ed Valenti join us on segment 4. Stay tuned.
Go to WallStreetRawRadio.com for more information on Mark's newsletters and products. Stay tuned. Mark will be right back.
High-performance investors and traders use superior financial tools to achieve superior returns. You have that tool with Mark Leibovit, nationally renowned top market timer, legendary television Wall Street Week elf, and nightly business report market monitor, who shares with you his unique market tools and commentary at WallStreetRaw.com. At WallStreetRaw.com, Mark provides you with his latest ideas on how to help build and protect your wealth, help you avoid the next big market crash, and also stay healthy to enjoy your wealth. Mark has a special free gift for listeners of the Wall Street Raw radio show. Go to WallStreetRaw.com and sign up for his free weekly Vice News Raw report. While there, go ahead and sign up for his free Gold News Raw report. You will receive both weekly, and both are totally free. No credit card information is required. Sign up today for your free Vice News Raw and Gold News Raw reports at WallStreetRaw.com. That's WallStreetRaw.com.
My name is Don Wiskin, and at 42 years old, I suffered a massive heart attack and was told I'd be on disability for the rest of my life. What did I do? I created Extendivite, a garlic and cayenne mix of 7 herbs which rebuilt my heart and gave me back my life. For over 17 years now, I have made this formula available to you so you don't have to suffer the same thing I did. Clean your blocked arteries and strengthen your heart and boost your natural immune system. I'm 60 years old now, and I still work every day. To get your Extendivite, call 1-877-928-8822. That's 1-877-928-8822. Or visit heartdrop.com. Extendivite is only $69.95 for a 2-month supply of either capsules or liquid.
Expand your life with Extendivite.
Paid non-attorney spokesperson Adam Pulaski of the Pulaski Law Firm with principal office in Houston, Texas is the attorney responsible for the content of this ad. This ad is not legal advice, and the choice of a lawyer should not be based solely upon advertisement. Services may not be available in all states.
Attention Xarelto users. If you or a loved one took Xarelto and suffered a serious bleeding event, you may be entitled to financial compensation. Xarelto is a popular prescription blood thinner used to prevent blood clots and protect patients from strokes. These serious bleeding events have led to numerous cases of hospitalization and even death. Phone lines are open 24/7. Call 800-261-0937. That's 800-261-0937.
As if chlorine in our water weren't bad enough, now they're adding ammonia?
It's true. Some municipalities are now adding ammonia plus chlorine to your water supply. It's a disinfectant called chloramine. But with a trusted Big Berkey water filter, you can keep chloramine out of your water. New NSF EPA certified lab tests show EPA Berkey water filters remove chloramines, pharmaceuticals, BPA, pesticides, bacteria and viruses, all forms of fluoride, and much more. Big Berkey water filters are the original and most trusted on the market. The gold standard in water purification. And our filters last for years at less than 2 cents per gallon. Big Berkey, the one that's powerful enough to purify stagnant pond water. Get your Big Berkey today. Call 1-877-99-BERKEY or click BigBerkeyWaterFilters.com. That's 1-877-99-BERKEY. Big Berkey Water Filters, for the love of clean water.
Owe $10,000 or more to the IRS?
Get on board with the Tax Admiral. Don't pick on the IRS alone. I'll cut penalties and reduce your overall tax bill. Sometimes I can even get it zeroed out completely.
We're an A-rated company helping people clean up their mess with the IRS.
If you owe $10,000 or more, then call the Tax Admiral.
Call 800-287-7180. Again, that's 800-287-7180. 800-287-7180.
Welcome back to Wall Street Raw. Want to know more about Wall Street Raw and the Leibovit VR newsletters? Go to WallStreetRawRadio.com.
Welcome back to Wall Street Raw. It's Saturday, January 2nd. I'm your host, Mark Leibovit, and again, thanks for joining us on our first show of 2016. Well, if you went to sleep on December 31st, 2014, as I mentioned in the previous segment, when you just woke up, you might think nothing happened in 2015. The S&P index started the year at 2058 and closed at 2043 for a loss of 15 points, or about 0.7%. Doesn't seem like much, but it still was a losing year, but there's more to go into than that. The best performing sector in the S&P was consumer discretionary with a gain of 9.5%. The worst performing sector was, no surprise, energy, which was down 23.8%, and materials were down almost 10% this past year. Netflix was the top performing stock in the S&P with a gain of 139%. Amazon up 122%. And Google, which is now called Alphabet, was up to 49%. Facebook up 36%. The big losers in the S&P were Chesapeake Energy, Consolidated Energy, and Southwestern Energy, all three down about 77%. So, if you avoided energy and went with the simple idea of the FANG stocks, which I joked about earlier today and we've talked about before, Facebook, Amazon, Netflix, and Google, that simple formula makes you a stock-picking genius, and it doesn't mean that the FANG stocks will deliver in 2016, but that was the place to be this year. After all, the trade can get crowded. One case in point is Apple. The most widely held stock was actually down 4% this past year. A lot of action there, up and down. I guess if you traded it, you've been better than that. Dow Industrial started the year at 17,823. It closed at 17,425 for a loss of 398 points, or about 2.2%. Just a reminder, the Dow hit a record high of 18,351 back in May. Remember the adage, sell may go away. Well, if you had done that, you caught the high in the Dow, at least this year. And many poo-poo the sell may go away adage, but it does work often, so pay attention to it. Top performers in the Dow included Nike up 31%, McDonald's up 26%, Home Depot was up 26%, and GE up 22%. And the big losers in the Dow were Walmart down 28%, Caterpillar down 25%, American Express down 25%, and Chevron down 20%. The NASDAQ Composite started the year at 4736 and closed the year at 5,007, so it did gain 271 points, or 5.7%. So obviously some of the big name stocks like the FANGs did help the NASDAQ. The Russell 2000, however, which represents a broader measure of the market, 2,000 stocks, started the year at 1204 and closed at 1135, down 69 points for about 6% loss. So there are approximately 3,700 publicly traded companies on the U.S. exchanges, and filtering out the S&P 500 stocks and the OTC stocks, the top performers included, you may not know all these names, Eagle Pharmaceutical up 462%, Exelis, EXELIXIS, Exelixis up 300%, Galapagos up 239%, and Prothena up 240%. All four were basically biotechs. As you know, many did suffer during the year, but these held up their gains, great returns, but long odds. European markets ended the year mixed. Germany's DAX gained 10%. Morgan Stanley Institutional Growth was the top-performing mutual fund of 2015, returning 11% this past year, which was pretty good. It's still below its 5-year average of 14.6%. The best-performing ETF position was Velocity Shares 3 times Invest Natural Gas, ETN, a triple leverage ETF meant to track the inverse price of natural gas. So with natural gas coming down 33% during the year, this ETF claimed a gain of more than 200%. So, again, you had to be in a 3 times leverage ETF, and I don't think that's a cup of tea for most of us, and I don't favor those too much, because if you're not right every day, that math on the double and triple ETFs can work against you. As you know, U.S. Treasuries lost ground in 2015. Treasury yields were at their lows for the year in January, and that was it. They think that's when their yields were at their lows. The yield on the 2-year surged to a fresh 6-year high after the Federal Reserve announced an interest rate increase in December. And that's a whole other interesting story here, understanding what really happened with interest rates and what this really means going forward. Raising interest rates on the part of the Fed doesn't mean the end of the world. But let's be clear, the Fed did not raise rates on December 16th. The Fed really raised their target for the Fed funds rate, which is their rate at which banks lend to each other. So this is a technicality. The Fed will buy and sell securities to increase the cost of borrowing money across the banking system. So money is becoming more expensive for all financial institutions. And the banks and financial institutions then pass along these costs to their customers in the form of higher rates. Short-term and long-term rates will move higher, at least in theory. But in reality, they don't always move together in lockstep. And the dollar may even get stronger as rates move higher on treasuries and corporate bonds. The reason is simple. If you're a foreign investor and you want to buy debt that offers a higher rate, you first have to trade whatever currency you have for dollars to make the purchase. So that raises demand for the dollar, causing the price of the dollar to go up and get stronger. Also, many investors will take money from stocks to buy bonds, that offer a higher rate, so money tends to flow out of the stock market. Higher rates mean savers should get more return on their savings, but higher rates also mean borrowers face higher debt service. In other words, mortgages, auto loans, credit card debt will cost more. And again, not everything moves in lockstep, so the banks tend to raise rates, their lending rates quickly, but they also are slow to raise rates they pay out on deposits. So it may not all be in sync there with regard to that. Well, commodities had ugly 2015. We know that. Precious metals saw some early strength in 2015, but sold off throughout the year after their January gains. Gold sank 10% to $10.16 an ounce, and silver lost 12% to $13.80 an ounce. On the industrial side, copper, which is generally considered a leading indicator, plunged 25% to $2.13 a pound. We can't cover the whole year in every detail, and I think we're all holding our breath now to see how the market unfolds in trading on Monday, and to see if we get some sense from the January barometer. Usually there's also another rule, which we've talked about on the program before. It's called the early warning indicator for the Dow and for the markets. The first 5 days of the year often give a sense for the year. I know it sounds peculiar, but a lot of statistics sort of prove that out. And then as the month unfolds in its entirety, we get a sense for the entire year as well. A lot of activity coming up into February. You've got the Chinese New Year, the first few days in February. So there's a lot of cross currents at work here. We've got a political scenario here in 2016, very strong. We've got risks from ISIS. We've got risks from jihadists. We've got all kinds of risks out there, outlier events that could change things day to day in the markets. So I think you got to be on your toes here a little bit more than usual. And after a big bull market that apparently ended last year, at least for the short term, we've got to really be careful about jumping in too quickly. We have to wait for some strong confirmation of some type of market bottom here. So we're going to have my old friend Ed Valenti join us here on segment 4, and we'll finish up with some final comments after that interview. Thanks for joining us on Wall Street Raw.
You're listening to Wall Street Raw with Mark Leibovit. Go to WallStreetRawRadio.com for information on Mark's newsletters and products. Stay tuned. Mark will be right back.
High-performance investors and traders use superior financial tools to achieve superior returns. You have that tool with Mark Leibovit, nationally renowned top market timer, legendary television Wall Street Week elf, and nightly business report market monitor, who shares with you his unique market tools and commentary at WallStreetRaw.com. Here, Mark provides you with his latest ideas on how to help build and protect your wealth, help you avoid the next big market tsunami, and also stay healthy to enjoy your wealth. Mark has a special free gift for listeners of his Wall Street Raw radio show. Go to WallStreetRaw.com and sign up for his free Vice News Raw report. You will receive it weekly, and it is totally free. No credit card information is required, and no one will call. Sign up today for your free Vice News Raw report at WallStreetRaw.com. That's WallStreetRaw.com for your free weekly report from Mark Leibovit and WallStreetRaw.com.
For over 5 years, you've been hearing about the Berkey guy, so you may know a few things about him. For example, you are well aware of the superior quality and effectiveness of Berkey water filters and accessories. But did you know the Berkeys have had independent lab tests done to prove just how effective they are? It's true, and he can email you the test results. Just visit GoBerkey.com. You may also know that the Berkey Guy has helped tens of thousands of people get better prepared. Now here's something you may not know. GoBerkey.com has amazing specials and deals all the time on a wide variety of survival and preparedness products. Most ready to ship same day. Visit the Berkey Guy at GoBerkey.com and be sure to click the red Products on Sale Now button. You can always call toll-free 877-886-3653. Again, that's 877-886-3653. GoBerkey.com, home of the Berkey Guy.
By now you know that wireless technology like cell phones do in fact pose dangers to the health and privacy of everyone. Blockit Pocket's wide range of products are unmatched in providing the protection you deserve. No scare tactics, just common sense. BlockitPocket.com offers quality American-made options to alleviate and eliminate these invisible dangers. Learn more at BlockitPocket.com or call 888-315-9618. BlockitPocket.com, enhancing health and privacy.
We've had an amazing year here at Supernatural Silver. We've truly enjoyed the fantastic response from thousands of people as they've tried our extraordinary product, and we're thrilled at the life-changing results people have. Our company email is continually full of happy, satisfied customers who thank us for the help they've received from Supernatural Silver. This holiday season, as you think of gifts to give your loved ones, consider giving Supernatural Silver, a gift that can help provide good health and wellness, a gift that can change lives and make a real difference. In a world where we are constantly exposed to dangerous health threats, give yourself and your loved ones a fighting chance. Give Supernatural Silver. Go to supernaturalsilver.com and use the promo code HOLIDAY2015 for 20% off. And this holiday season, we wish you and yours the blessings of peace and good health from all of us here at supernaturalsilver.com.
Are your Google search results killing you? Unflattering content in blogs, news articles, online reviews, social media, or other sources can jeopardize your reputation, your business, and your livelihood. Let Reputation.com help. Our patented technology will make the truth about you more visible while pushing down unwanted negative content. Improve your Google search results. Call Reputation.com at 1-800-831-0771 for a free consultation. That's 800-831-0771.
Responsibility begins and ends with our partners and our shareholders, and that's it.
There is no freedom without the law.
Get it? Got it? Good. Welcome back to Wall Street Raw and the final segment with Mark Leibovit. Now, here's the elf himself.
Now how much would you pay? You get the Ginsu knife, the matching carving fork, the versatile 6-in-1 kitchen tool, a set of 6 steak knives, and the spiral slicer. You get them all, guaranteed in writing for 50 years for only $9.95. It's the most incredible knife offer ever.
It's my pleasure welcoming back my very special guest and friend Ed Valenti to Wall Street Raw this Saturday morning. So much to talk about. Ed Valenti currently runs Dial Media, and it really irreversibly changed the way products were sold on television. Ed's infomercials first aired in the mid-1970s. He is Mr. Ginsu. He aimed to sell at that time also the Miracle Slicer, the Miracle Duster, the Miracle Painter. Success of the Ginsu campaign led to widespread adoption of the format for a variety of products, including jewelry, cookware, mixing bowls, food storage containers, and so forth, and ultimately led to the formation of the home shopping channels QVC and HSN. Ed, thanks for being with us, and tell us a little bit about your background and how you got started, and a little bit about Barry, and give us a little background on the great success of Ed Valenti and the Ginsu and all those products.
Well, thank you, Mark. It's a pleasure to be on your show as always, and I thank you for the opportunity to talk about a few things. One of the things that I'm most noted for, Mark, is, as I'm sure you know, is creating those literary classics. But wait, there's more. Now, how much would you pay? Operators are standing by, so you don't forget, call before midnight tonight. And I often tell people, it's a little frustrating because no matter what I seem to accomplish or try to accomplish in life, that's always going to follow me. In fact, someday when I pass away, they'll probably imprint that on my tombstone. Here lies Ed Valenti, the man that gave the world the Ginsu knife. But wait, there's no more. Anyway, this all started about 27 years ago when Barry and I decided to sell the American public something that they didn't need, which was another set of knives. And we did that ourselves out of youthful ignorance because we had to create a need where none existed, because think about it, the last thing in the world people needed was another set of knives. But we were just a couple of green kids, Mark. You know, there were no presidents to guide us. There was no televised sales pitches. We had to invent them along the way. And it ended up being quite a huge success. I was at the time with the NBC television station in Rhode Island, and Barry was the owner of one of the AMCO transmission franchises here in Rhode Island. And he was a client of mine, and we became best friends. But one day I was sitting in the television station and watching, you know, the TV that was in my office, which was on all the time, hundreds and hundreds of commercials for record albums. And you might remember those, Mark. It was companies like K-Tel and Ronco, and it was much about every single record, every single song that was ever recorded since the beginning of time for only $20. So I said to Barry one day, boy, if we could just do something different other than record albums, if we could come up with a product and put it on TV and demonstrate it in a way that had never been done before, you know, we could probably create a lot of consumer demand, make a lot of money, create brand recognition, make a lot of money. Did I mention a lot of money? Yes. We would make a lot of money. So Barry went to the home show one day, and he saw this gentleman painting with this so-called miracle painting pad, which is a plastic handle with a soft brittle layer of bristles across the top. And it was a pad. You would dunk it in, and you could shake, and the paint would not come off. And, you know, you could paint like an average-sized room in about a half an hour. And what impressed Barry about this product was how easy and quickly you could do things with it when you had to do some painting. And he noticed that the painters were flying out of the building, you know, faster than, I would say, the last month of traders getting out of Asian stocks. So he bought one, he brought it home, and he painted his ceiling. And that in and of itself was unusual, Mark, because prior to that, the only thing that Barry ever dipped a brush into was barbecue sauce at his backyard cookout. So when he told me about the product, I knew we had hit on to something great. We created a commercial that was very funny. It had a comedic opening. It was a man painting a ceiling in a tuxedo, and the copy line was, "This man is painting a ceiling in a tuxedo. There's no drift. There's no splatter. There's no mess. He's using the amazing miracle painter." Well, in the first year, Mark, we sold 1 million units at $9.95. To this day, I'm sorry I didn't ask for the extra 4 cents, but nonetheless, we had generated $10 million on a part-time basis. And at that particular point in time, we decided that it would be best for us to quit our jobs. We sold this transmission shop. I quit my job as an NBC television executive, and that's what started it all.
Ed, you know, you're currently running Prime Media. Tell us a little bit about that, because we have some listeners who perhaps want to avail themselves of your services, which is a national media buying and marketing company.
Exactly. Prime Media was founded by me and Barry on the basis that clients would want someone who had worked on both sides of the media desk, not only as buyers of media but as sellers of media. So we sort of knew our way through the minefield. And as a result of that, we've established a reputation as being able to negotiate and buy media, all types of media, whether it be regular broadcast or digital, for around 30 or 40% less than a lot of other people do it for, simply because we know our way around it. We know how to get the best deals, the best value. We have a lot of friends in the business. And also we spend a lot of money and have a lot of clout. Currently, we are purchasing media in several major countries. More recently, we're doing a pharmaceutical campaign for a company in the United States, and we're advertising not only in the United States, but in Canada and Australia and a few other countries as well that I can't think of off the top of my head.
Ed, if our listeners want to get in touch with you, how would they do that? Tell us if there's some...
You can reach me at 401-826-3600 or visit our website, which is primemediahq.com.
Ed, I want to thank you so much for being with us on this short segment. There's so much to cover. We're going to have you back regularly to fill our listeners in on all the great accomplishments and products. Again, if you want to reach Ed Valenti and Prime Media, give him a call at 401-826-3600, and I'm sure he'll be happy to sell you some airtime on the networks. Ed, thank you.
Thank you, Mark.
Yeah, at the top of the interview, we played the 1970 Ginsu intro to the Ginsu commercial. Always fun. A little bit of a flashback there for all of us. Well, I want to thank Harris Glasser for being with us today, and of course Ed Valenti. Time will tell if 2015 was just a pause or a breather in a marathon bull market, or whether this is just a year that the Fed tapped the brakes and everything just came to a slow grinding halt. The IMF says that 2016 growth will be disappointing and uneven. The International Monetary Fund says in many countries financial sectors still have weakness, and emerging markets the financial risks are increasing. All that means is that global growth will be disappointing and uneven in 2016. Here in the U.S., or closer to the U.S., Puerto Rico will default on some of its bonds, so we're going to see how that all plays out, and should be a very interesting year again. And as I mentioned at the top of the hour and during the course of the show, we have to watch the action in January very carefully, as the January barometer could provide a good leading sense of what the year ahead is going to show us. My old friend on Financial News Network, Ed Hart, is one I always like to quote at the end of every show. And he said at that time, and continues to be meaningful, we will know in the fullness of time. Have a great week. Go to vrtrader.com for more information. Thanks again for joining us.
Thank you for listening to Wall Street Raw with nationally recognized market timer and previous Wall Street Week Elf, Mark Leibovit. If you missed any of today's show or to get in touch with Mark, please go to WallStreetRawRadio.com. Any stocks or investment discussed on Wall Street Raw are not in any way a recommendation or solicitation to buy, sell, or hold. We first recommend you seek out a licensed financial professional for advice. Go to WallStreetRawRadio.com for more information on Mark's newsletters and products.
High-performance investors and traders use superior financial tools to achieve superior returns. You have that tool with Mark Leibovit, nationally renowned top market timer, legendary television Wall Street Week elf, and nightly business report market monitor, who shares with you his unique market tools and commentary at WallStreetRaw.com. At WallStreetRaw.com, Mark provides you with his latest ideas on how to help build and protect your wealth, help you avoid the next big market crash, and also stay healthy to enjoy your wealth. Mark has a special free gift for listeners of the Wall Street Raw radio show. Go to WallStreetRaw.com and sign up for his free weekly Vice News Raw report. While there, go ahead and sign up for his free Gold News Raw report. You will receive both weekly, and both are totally free. No credit card information is required. Sign up today for your free Vice News Raw and Gold News Raw reports at WallStreetRaw.com. That's WallStreetRaw.com.
The Genesis Communications Network is one of America's premier broadcasters of captivating talk radio. We thank you for listening. Now, just imagine, there are thousands of people who are just as passionate about radio as you are. But what you may not realize is how easy and affordable it is to advertise with us. Radio commercials for your business could be heard on hundreds of radio stations across the U.S. every day. We can help you by creating an effective radio advertising campaign for your company. From script writing to producing your commercial, just like the one you're listening to right now. No other network provides the level of customer service we do. When it comes to radio advertising, we are your one-stop shop. And no matter how big or small your business is, we can help. Email us at advertise@GCNLive.com, and an experienced advertising executive will help you take the first step towards driving more customers to your business or website. Advertise@GCNLive.com. Easy, affordable, effective.